welcome back to another episode of the DSC podcast. Now, so sit back, relax, and enjoy as we tackle different toxic traits that we need to be able to talk about more often. Now, let us welcome Mr. Carlos Santana.
If there's one thing I would say, people need to learn respect because, a lot of people don't have respect nowadays.
Mr. Kenneth Gomez.
Meron two types of people na toxic. Yung one, consciously alam niyang toxic siya. And the other one, hindi niya alam na toxic siya.
Miss Patricia Co.
So if someone is being too much, that's the time you call someone toxic.
Never have I ever been in a toxic relationship, may it be with a friend or a significant other.
Never have I ever invalidated a person's feelings.
Never have I ever been attracted to someone who has red flags. So many people in my mind.
I don't invalidate someone else's feeling kasi iniisip ko paano ako yung nasa sitwasyon niya.
I finally realized in myself na I'm living not to please others. I'm living to please myself.
Kapag nagwo-work ka towards your goal, hindi naman sila kasali doon eh. Nandun lang sila sa congratulations. Pero sa process, wala sila doon. So, ba't mo sila kailangan isipin?
Sometimes it's the best way to empathize is try someone's shoes on. Dati talaga kala ko minentliter yun eh. Like, suotin mo yung shoes nila. Tapos sabihin ko, ba't ang pawis?
No, yung respect, it is given. Hindi. It should be earned pa rin.
If you know that you're right, tell what's right. Pero you also need to be kind.
Good evening, everybody. I am your host, Miguel Dos Reyes, and welcome back to another episode of the DSC podcast. We have an exciting topic for y'all today that you do not want to miss. But before that, of course, remember, follow our socials. We are on Twitter at UE_DSC, and we are also on Facebook, of course. You can find us on UE Dentistry Student Council. Now, so sit back, relax, and enjoy as we tackle different toxic traits that we need to be able to talk about more often and openly so we could not be judged for it. But, of course, before we go to the topic, let's introduce our guest. First of all, he was bombarded with many responsibilities in his life. He joined many extracurricular activities and yet hasn't stayed with one. Always exploring paths untaken, Carlos, or Migs, entered high school as a lost boy and until college, lost in the streets of online classes. Wow, that is some literature. Now let us welcome Mr. Carlos Santana. How are you feeling today?
I'm kind of nervous actually because I don't know, this is my first time actually to meet all of you guys. So I hope I'll be able to answer some of your questions.
Well, don't worry. I think we're going to have a lot of fun with this episode. But of course, up next, we have the documentation head of ACE. We have Mr. Kenneth Gomez. Mr. Kenneth Gomez, how are you doing today?
Kinakabahan din ako sa first time ko lang sa podcast.
Okay.
I hope I can answer the questions.
Okay. Well, don't worry, because I think we're going to have a lot of fun today. And I hope that you are, hopefully, or are you going somewhere or are you going from somewhere?
Going to somewhere.
Ooh, okay, early vacation, I suppose. Well, of course, last but not the least, we have, of course, the former DSC president. We have Miss Patricia Co. Miss Patricia Co, welcome to the DSC podcast.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Okay.
So, how are you, Miggy?
I am feeling alive because I think today's topic is very, very, very exciting. How about you, Miss Patricia?
Yeah, I'm really excited also because I think this topic is very timely. Yeah, so I hope we could answer all your questions.
Let's see. Foreshadowing, no? Okay, but don't worry. This is not just going to be a sort of interview style. This can be an open table discussion because we're going to play a game. And this game is, of course, linked to our topic. And that game is Never Have I Ever. I think we've done this before on another episode of the DSC podcast, wherein we have prepared two pieces of paper. One that says I have if you've done the question or the situation. And the other that says, the blur's getting it. The blur's getting it. Never as well. So if you have, please prepare your papers, unless you've already prepared it.
Okay. Done.
All right, Miss Patricia, thank you so much. Wow. And
Sa shawl.
Wow, iPad.
Shawl.
Swipe right. Wow, this is okay, next na. Mr. Kenneth, are you ready?
Naka-observe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, may font pa mismo. Okay. Sige, wait lang. Okay, now that we are ready for the day's game, now let's start off with the first question. First question. Never have I ever been in a toxic relationship, may it be with a friend or a significant other. Ooh. 3 answers in 3, 2, 1, and go. Oh, I'm the odd one out. So I think let's start off with Carlos because he seems the most anxious about it. So Carlos, tell us what's
Well,
up.
first of all, I have, but in a toxic relationship, I have never had a girlfriend when I was since I was born. So yeah, I think a lot of people would relate, especially because of this pandemic. So maybe because because friendship, like especially in high school and growing up, especially because coming from an all boys school who had like 600, 800 people in the batch, we had like a lot of different people in like from different backgrounds. So it's really hard to find people who you can really trust. And some are like the Marites type that who you would just like know that just backstabbing yourself and you and your other friends. So it's really hard to find people who you can trust. So yeah, it's basically hard, especially nowadays that people are like going and gossiping about each other. I think that's the basic Filipino trait that we can also say that if you think of Filipino and their pastime, they just gossip. And I think it's passed on to many generations, especially to our generation. So yeah, I have been in a toxic friendship and it's kind of hard because, you cannot really trust them.
Yeah, I mean, I think especially, I mean, I grew up in an all boys school as well. What school did you grow up to, Mr. Carlos?
I grew up in Ateneo for 14 years.
Preparatory to grade 6, Don Bosco, Makati. Yeah, Don Bosco, Makati. Yeah. And there's like, it's such a brutal environment being in an all boys school, right? Because it's just straight up it's either you're in with the sports or you're a nerd. Diba parang ganun yung buong grade school ko. No, kasi it's either you're in with kasi parating trend naman, if you don't follow the trends parate. I mean, parate ka namang na, how would I say this? Ano ba yung term? Ano ba yung term na yun? Iisip ko ano ba yung term? I think, Carlos, may sating naman yung term.
Like, you're always out of place if you're like...
Yes, out of place.
Yeah, especially I think it's hard to relate especially if you're not athletic like me.
True. Tapos pag hindi ka athletic, pati ka dun sa mga defensive positions kasi hindi ka marunong tumakbo masyado. Ganun. So,
yeah,
asa rin ka.
I think you're a nerd.
Oh yeah, exactly. You're a nerd. Okay, but before, of course, we move on to the next question, I think we need to set a baseline. What is toxicity or being toxic? So anybody got any answers? Okay,
Sir?
Miss Patricia. Sir?
Sir, toxicity. When we talk about toxicity, it means that there's a certain drug na it's too much. So instead of you curing yourself or making yourself better, instead you're damaging yourself. So same goes with us humans. So if a specific person or someone is being too much, I think that's the time you call someone toxic. So, for example, if a person is, I think, manipulative and doesn't want to hear any opinions of the other or doesn't open himself or herself to criticisms, I think that's toxic for me. And toxic is a very general term. So, maraming pwede. And pwede siya maging subjective also. So, maybe kay Carlos, toxic si but for me, okay lang siya. So, ayun. How about you, Miggy?
I think, para sa akin kasi, being toxic. I mean, tama. Kala ko nga, for a quick second, isip ko, sasagutin ba ni Miss Patricia in like the sciencey way? Toxicity is ganyan-ganyan, X, ganyan-ganyan, like, oh my God. Pero may ano naman, may analogy naman. For me, toxicity is ano ba? Toxicity is when you think something benefits you, pero after some time, you just forget who you are. You've changed. You've changed not for yourself, but for others. If that
Okay.
makes sense. Yeah, kasi I think being I've never been in a toxic relationship. Thankfully, no, I've always had a fine line between friends and just people I do not like, and I just keep away from them. Like, pag may work, let's say kunwari project, diba? Tas medyo ano sila, ano ba yung term? Douchey. Kasi ganun yung mga bossing, mga ganun, ewan. Gagawin ko lang is just parang, okay, I'll just do what you ask. Walang angal. Para lang get away from me.
Yeah, be professional na lang, kumbaga.
Yeah, just be professional. Amen, amen. How about you, Mr. Kenneth? What are your experiences in toxicity?
Toxicity for me is when you encounter some people and first yung encounter mo sa kanila and you feel tired after you encounter with them, kahit yung simpleng usap lang, mapag-feel mo na after nun, sobrang nakakapagod. Ang bigat sa pakiramdam, ganun yung na-feel ko if I encounter some toxic people. For me, like yung mga taong sobrang, sabi ni Ate Pats, yung people na hindi makatik ng criticism, sobrang self-centered na tao. I encountered mga ganung people nung high school pa ako. Sobrang nakakapagod silang pakinggan. Like everything is all about them.
Parang self-centered ba? Parang ganun, self-centered.
Self-centered.
Yun. Pero totoo nga pala yun, no? Parang di mo napapansin, pero napapagod ka around them. Rather than yung usual friends na parang kahit 1 a.m. Let's go lang. Party lang, wala ba?
Yeah.
Hindi ko napansin. That's a big red flag, no? Hindi siya technically parang physical red flag, pero it's a, how would I say? Ano ba yung term? Emotional? Hindi eh. Psychological na lang. Psychological red flag. I'm not a med student or anything, pero psychological na lang. Let's just place it at that. Okay. Pero a question for you guys as well. For you, what is the worst? Like, kasi madaming red flags, diba? What's the number one worst red flag for you? I'll start it off. For me, number one red flag is when they don't give the same energy as you. Like, I don't mean na parang energetic ako magsalita tas ikaw hindi. Parang ganun. What I mean is like, when you talk to them like, oh my gosh, hey, how are you doing? I made it work ka? Wow, ang galing, grabe. Tas pag sa'yo, parang, may work ka, cool. Okay, sure. Yeah, parang wala silang, they don't give vocally, diba? It's just a straight downer. Okay, Mr. Carlos, I think you have an answer.
Wait, Ate Pat, you can go ahead. I'm so thinking.
Akala ko.
Hard to choose.
Ready na ako makinig. Hindi ako ready magsalita. Sige.
Okay.
I agree with Miggy. Yung parang ang off. May mga first impression na parang off eh. Na kasi yung siguro hindi kayo same ng interest. Kaya parang, or yun nga, yung energy na hindi na nabibigyan, parang hindi niya natatapatan. Pero for me, the major red flag, personally, is, yung, alam niyo yung parang, sobrang ma-pride. Oo. So, parang self-centered, yun nga, na doesn't know how to listen. Parang parati siya yung tama. So, lahat ng pwede mong sabihin na i-invalidate. Kasi nga, ako dapat sundin mo. Ako dapat. So, ayun. Kayo ba?
Parang feeling hero ba yung term? Parang feeling sila yung star.
Feeling the best. Yeah, star of the
tapos
night.
pag pumalpak, parang yung brush off lang nila. Tapos parang...
True. Tapos kapag pumalpak, hindi ko naman sinabi yun.
Scapegoat, mahilig mag-scapegoat. Yeah. Oh my God. O nga. Feeling ko ang daming ganun talaga growing up. Kasi, how would I say this? How would I say this? Kasi, I think part din siya ng just the people around them. Kasi hindi naman kasi our
environment.
personalities are environment. Our personalities are formed from the people around us, di ba? Ako, yung parents ko very sila yung tipong anak, magkaibigan ka lang sa school. Pero yung tatay ko, anak, pag may nambubuli sa'yo, sipain mo lang sa itlog. Go lang anak. Ganun lang sila. Go, madadali lang yan. Turuan kita. Ganun yung dad ko growing up nung when I was in an all boys school. So I'm guessing baka sa kanila medyo iba yung life in their world. Ganun. Okay, Mr. Carlos, I'm assuming you have an answer.
Maybe like first thing that came to my mind is like respect. If like they can't respect you like as a person, if you're gonna meet them, like what you guys said earlier, na parang first impression, and like that's in the situation like you met there's an elderly person, then parang they don't have the respect they give each other. Parang that's a major red flag, because you need to respect each one of us like on the level of like the maturity and like the person. Like, so let's say if matanda yan, you need to kailangan mo i-respect na matanda sila, then kailangan mo lagaan and stuff. So parang it's hard then kasi people nowadays parang they just treat, oh, you're a person lang. So parang kahit gaano ka katanda, I would just call you whatever. So parang that's like the major red flag for me, na parang the people nowadays, especially in my generation, like the younger ones, they lack respect. So if there's one thing I would say, people need to learn respect, because yeah, a lot of people don't have respect nowadays.
True. Parang, kasi madami akong kilalang kaibigan na pag sa akin, sinusto ko sa braso, tapos mura ng mura, ganun. Isa rin ganun tao. Tapos, ang kulit-kulit, mahilig sa physical, ganun sila mag-connect physically. Pero pag binisita ko sa bahay, bilang, hi po tita, ay po tita. Best friends po kami ni Miguel. Best friends po kami. Opo, ang bait-bait po niyan sa school. Ang bait-bait po. Opo, santo po yan. Opo. May in-experience ba kayo parang ganun na kaibigan? Na kala mo unrespectful pero super bait.
Oo.
Like, anong experience mo dun, Kenneth?
Sa yung mga ganong kaibigan. Ganun pag bibisita kami sa bahay ng isa't isa, sabihin, hindi po yan, mabait po yun sa school, hindi po yan palakating, gano'n. Mga parang sip-sip sa magulang.
Tama yung term na yun, sip-sip sa magulang. Ang bait po niyan. May bata po na dapa, tinulungan niya po. Opo, yung mga gano'n, di ba? Wala po akong pamasahe, binigyan po ako 20 po. Tapos sabi niya, keep the change po. Ang bait po talaga ni Kenneth po. Okay, I think we should move on to the next question. And next question is...
Never have I ever felt that I was a toxic person. 1, 2, 3, go. Wow, honest lahat. Honest.
Naisip ko, wow, never si Kenneth. Pero baliktad lang pala. Have I? Eva. Okay.
Ayan, iba.
Okay. Miss Patricia will share her experience of being the toxic person.
So, I'm gonna talk about myself na lang na when do I become a toxic person. Siguro, sa sarili ko kasi, hindi lang siya like towards sa friend na, like sa sarili ko, I set my standards too high or I push myself too hard. Na minsan nagiging toxic na ako sa sarili ko. Na hindi ko na iniisip yung well-being ko. But iniisip ko kasi yung iisipin ng iba. That's why I push myself too hard. Na there will come a time na I'm getting too stressed out na hindi ko na kayang i-control yung sarili ko. So, mas mabilis akong pumitik or kumbaga mag-heat up pag hindi ko nagagawa yung sinet kong goal for myself. Dahil sa goals ng gustong makita ng iba para sa akin. Is that clear?
I think parang gets ko naman na parang let me interpret. So parang you set such an expectation for yourself. Tapos pag hindi mo natamo, natamo, Tagalog. Pag hindi mo natamo, parang mag self-destructive things ka.
Yeah. But parang yung main point is that I act based on others. Kasi parang syempre parang yun nga. Kaya nga sabi ko, nag-joke ako kanina, baka ako yun kanina, yung barkada na pupunta sa house ng parents, tapos mabait siya sa parents, pero pag sa friends, hindi naman, ganyan. Pero other way around ako. Hindi ako mabait sa parents, mabait ako sa friends ko. Hindi, parang ganon, kasi parang siguro nung bata ako, parang I was parang blinded na dapat magaling ka, dapat ganito ka. Kasi sa school ko, Chinese school, so, and lahat ng mga kasama ko doon is masyadong achievers. Eh ako, sporty ako eh, hindi ako yung nasa achiever side. Sporty ako, pero achieving naman sa sports. Ngayon, parang share ko na lang experience ko na naging valedictorian ako sa high school. But parang most of my classmates, they were against it. Kasi hindi to pumapasok sa school. Parating nagte-training lang, makikita mo nandyan sa court training, tapos nag-valedictorian. So may certain parent na kinausap yung meron kaming parang parents association na sabihin niyo sa mga anak niyo na wag mag-speech na si Patricia after ng speech niya, wag magtatayo, wag papalakpak, ganon. So parang kumbaga parang nabully rin ako. Kasi parang hindi na lang na-expect na ba't ako naging valedictorian dahil nga yun. And parati kasi parang ako yung parang outcast doon since galing ako from a different school. Kaya medyo nahirapan ako mag-adjust. And yung close ko, ang complicated ng life ko, wait. And yung mga close ko is higher year. Since in Chinese, higher ako, tapos sa English, lower. So parang kunwari, 4th year ako sa Chinese, 3rd year ako sa English. Since no elementary ako, I have 2 schools.
Like 2 schools na pinupuntahan mo every day? Like
yeah, so kunwari, morning English class, afternoon pupunta ako sa second school ko for Chinese class.
Oh God. Oh
yeah.
God.
Ganon. So parang naging outcast ako. Tapos parang kumbaga, first time kong na-experience yung parang bullying or being a bullied student dahil dun sa graduation na yun. So from then on, parang kung makikita niyo sa mga classmates ko ngayon sa college, sa UE, na parang tingin nila sa akin, achiever, ganyan. Kasi parang pinessure ko yung sarili ko na ayaw ko nang isipin na impossible. Kasi parang hindi nila ako nakikitang nagsistrive hard or nag-work hard to get it. So yun, parang blinded na rin ako na kailangan ko i-please yung ibang tao. But somehow, nag-improve ako kasi parang mas marami akong nami-meet na professionals. So I share my experience with them. Tapos eventually, tinuturuan din nila ako na parang hindi dapat. Kasi kapag nagwo-work ka towards your goal, hindi naman sila kasali doon eh. Nandun lang sila sa congratulations. Pero sa process, wala sila doon. So, ba't mo sila kailangan isipin? Kung at the first place, wala naman sila. Parang ganon. So yeah, I'm improving. I'm getting better, I think.
I think.
So,
wow. So first of all,
yeah.
Congratulations for seeing the self-improvement. The first way to change is just self-acceptance. You realize that there is a problem, diba? And second of all, 2 schools. Like, paano yung schedule? Naisip ko lang, paano yung schedule ng 2 schools? Ano yun? 4 to 12? Ay, hindi. 4 to 12.
So, from 7:30 to 12:30. Tapos, uwi ako ng house, 12:30. So, dadating ako usually, kasi malapit lang province ako. So, 12:40 nasa house na ako. Change ng uniform, eat. Tapos by 1:20, dapat nasa school na kasi 1:30 yung start ng Chinese class. Then, 4:30 dismissal.
Okay.
But sa high school, hindi na pwede yun. Kaya lumipat na ako sa Chinese school kung saan may English rin naman.
So you attended 3 schools from grade school to high school, parang ganun ba?
Nung preschool naman ako, I have 4 schools.
Oh my God. Oh my, it's multiplying. It went from 2 to 4. Baka naman kinder mo,
Yeah.
8 na. Oh
Hindi,
God.
pero yun, may weekends ako, parang Montessori, parang gano'n. So
Okay.
weekends.
Okay.
Hirap, no? Oh my God.
Parang alam ko, pero at the same time, it's like at the tip of my tongue. Tapos, hindi mo gets me. I'm trying to tell myself, alam mo, pero hindi. Okay, anyways, let's move on from the Chinese school, 2-day school. Oh my God, hindi ko pa na-imagine a 2-day school. Carlos, what's your experience with being a toxic person, right?
Mine is basically like what Ate Pat said, because parang I pressure myself because of the people around me. I like Ate Pat, I was bullied not once though, thrice. Ayun, it was really hard to please others people, and like I finally realized in myself na I'm living not to please others, I'm living to please myself. So parang I didn't care since grade 6 when I was bullied as a whole class. My whole class bullied me. Parang ever since, parang I didn't look at them. I didn't look and remind myself of what people think around me. So parang when I was in grade 10, I didn't even listen to my parents. I would fight my parents to join orgs. Kasi that's like my joy lang because I'm not athletic. I'm not good at ACAD. So I think I'm more of like sociable person. So parang ayun, joining orgs was like my hobby in a way. And so parang I fought my parents and parang yun yung parang naging toxic sa akin na parang I pressured myself too much to achieve something. Kaya parang I can achieve something kasi everyone in my family, they're like, achieve in this course, and then my mom like this, and parang it's hard to accept for myself na parang I'm like the pinakamababa one. So I wanted to achieve something. Pero yun, when I grew up realizing na parang I don't need their approval. I just need the approval of myself. So yeah, it's just like Ate Pat's situations.
True. Like parental influence, like I think sometimes like it's a big root, in terms of how you formulate yourself and how you want to form your personality in life, diba? For me, I think I was a toxic person kasi sanay ako in terms of people were constantly talking behind my back. Na parang like I become friends. Yan ba si Miguel ganyan? Ganyan. Pero in terms of parang pag kinibigan ko sila, uy, kamusta? Tapos kaya nga nag-group mates kami sa activity, tapos parang, ka-vibe ko to. Then later, magsasabi sa akin na parang hindi na kami nagka-in touch with that person. Then after I just hear from a new friend of mine na parang, kailan mo si ganyan? Oh yeah, friends kami dati. Yeah, like, sabi niya to, dati ano ka daw eh, ganyan. Like, so it happened way too many times. So nangyari sa akin, the way how I was toxic was that I had a contingency. Parang, tipong Batman na I have a contingency for everything. Parang...
So, Miggy, na-try mo ng magkaroon ng past toxic relationship, but you are unaware. Parang ganun.
Parang ganun, yeah. And then it leached off me. And then nung nalaman ko, parang it's a big betrayal na parang ala Shakespeare. You have now betrayed me! Parang ganun yung feeling ko. Tapos hindi ako nag-recover. And what I did, instead of like moving on, I dwelled on it. And then I was like, if they want violence, I'm gonna give them violence. Parang ganun. I went into the more destructive path.
Aggressive!
If I can't have friends, no one will. Tapos sunugin yung buong school. Tapos tawa, ganun. Parang ganun yung vibe ko. Pero after some time, I think yung biggest growth ko talaga is in college is when nagkaroon ng so many diverse friends na hindi high school. There's the group na you got the yung group na kilala ng buong batch, tapos merong yung isang group na second na kilala, tapos nag-away pa rin yung group na yun, tapos you've got your friends, ganun. Sa college kasi, medyo wala nang ganun, only persons lang, no? If you can tell. Only persons on the famous. Tapos the rest is what you make of it. In the end, some people might say na, yung the person na yan, super famous, like sa TikTok, she's got like 100 followers. Tapos parang, ano yung TikTok? What do you call them? What? Is that like a Twitter thing? I don't know, like Twitter. I don't know. Ganun. Joke lang. Alam ko yung TikTok, diba? Naman, it's I think it's how you perceive yourself, and being self-destructive is not the way to go. But of course, last but not least, Kenneth, Uy, may malapit na si Kenneth sa city. Ayun na.
We
Kenneth,
build
how about you?
Yeah. For me, yung toxic trait ko na nag-build up is parang I self-pity kasi nung bata din ako, I was bullied simula LM hanggang high school. Yun. And in order to gain their respect, parang nawala yung self-love ko and yung parang gagawin ko lahat para lang mag-fit in, gano'n. I give so much to others na parang wala na natitira sa akin. Ganun. Yun. Kaya parang nung naging third year ako, parang sige, try kong i-change yung sarili ko para mag-fit in sa kanila. And eventually, naging ko naman yung respect nila, pero parang hindi ko siya ginawa para sa sarili ko. Ayun lang. And dun parang nag-build up yung trait ko na, I self-pity talaga. And yun, hanggang ngayon, wino-workout ko na tanggalin yung trait na yun.
True self-pity. Yung tipong feeling mo na parang there's nobody else in this world that understands you but you. No? Oh God, yeah. I went into that hole myself then, no? Oh God. So right now, how are you working out of this, let's say, toxic trait of yours?
I'm always looking at someone else's perspective kasi meron two types of people na toxic. Yung types ng toxicity is yung tao yun, consciously alam niya toxic siya, and the other one is hindi niya alam na toxic siya. Pero napapractice niya yung toxicity na yan. And pag naiisip ko na, pag nakikita ng ibang tao yung trait na yun sa akin, tinatry ko na siyang alisin agad kasi alam kong toxic siya para sa ibang tao. And consciously naisip ko, ay, wag ganito. Ibahin ko to kasi pangit tingnan. Ganun. Kasi toxic people might change naman pag alam nila toxic na yung ginagawa nila.
Ako na feel ko yung na-experience ba to yung tipong alam mo you're changing and I'm a changed person. I'm not the self-destructive. I'm not the toxic person anymore. Tas yung person who made you toxic lumapit sa'yo, I need your help. Yung projects sa kanya, may notes ka ba? Like, may ganyan ka ba? Diba? Tas may sa utak mo, parang nag-slow-mo yung world bigla na, should I help him? Pag hindi ko siya tulungan, alam kong, diyan. Walang ibang tutulong dyan. Wala na yan. You could exact your revenge, di ba? Sunugin school ulit. Boom! Ganun ulit. Or, more or less, most likely ginawa niya is like, oh sure, ito. Like, biglang ginawa mo lang. Tapos iniisip mo after parang, ginawa yun. Diba? Nangyari ba sa inyo yun, if ever? Raise your hands. Parang it happened more than once, I think. Never. Ooh, never. Mr. Carlos, have you? He's recalling. He's entering the matrix. You have?
Because no, I mean like I would help them in either way because like as a decent person, you would want to help. Yeah, so I'm really that kind of person. I grew up reading the Bible, so I wanted to be a so yeah, I'm a really helpful person. So kahit if I'm enemies with them, you need to help pa din eh. Because like no one would help each other kundi tayo lang in this world. Yeah.
Be the better person. Be the better person. Amen. 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 Kasi Bible
Kasi
is like
if not, conscience will kill you talaga.
Hindi ka makatulog. I gotta admit, there's pleasure in seeing your enemies suffer, di ba? Parang,
meron.
Diba?
Like,
toxic ako yun. Sakit. Tapos party ka, woot. Pero in the end, parang momentary lang yung pleasure na yun. Tapos in the rest, parang emptiness na. No? Rather than helping, tapos parang it's just gradual pleasure over time na parang you can look back and say like, good job, Miguel. Pat on the back. Pat mo sarili mo habang nakikita sa kama. Okay, up next, let's move on to the next question. Mr. Carlos, on you.
Never have I ever been attracted to someone who has red flags. So, 3. Okay, are you guys ready? Okay, so 3.
1.
I don't think it's a hard question though.
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Well, I never have.
Ay,
Wow!
wait lang. Mali.
Sure ba yan?
Never. Okay, I have. Wow, Miss Patricia, the sole survivor. Miss Patricia,
Wow.
do tell.
Wait,
Or have.
attracted, no? Attracted. Like,
Yeah.
romantic.
Or I don't think romantically. Just
I
like
think
Sige. Kala ko attracted, like,
I think any. It doesn't matter the context. As well.
sige, I have
And
na
I
lang.
have.
I'm
And
so
okay.
sorry.
Ayan, since Miss Patricia, ikaw yung medyo nahuli.
I have. Kasi nga, parang same na unaware ako na, hindi, kasi syempre, pag first meeting, kailangan mo sila kilalanin. So, dun sa parang first stage nyo, parang mag-deepen yung relationship. Tapos eventually, kung kailan, parang 1 year na close kayo, tapos eventually may mapapakita na lang siya dahil sa given situation. Parang, dati naman kasi hindi tayo kumakain sa labas, pero nung kumain na tayo sa labas, parang may mali na parang may nabibitawan siyang mga salita na hindi maganda. Tapos, dun nagsa-start na nagfe-fade yung pagiging parang tawag dito, yung pagiging attracted ko sa kanya as a friend, since group of friends yon before. So,
Okay.
hindi kami masyado lumalabas before, parating chat, ganyan. Or like sa school lang. So, goods, puro ganyan, goods. Pero nung lumabas na kami, parang friends, sorry, parang ganon. Ayun na, parang may nakita ka ng off kasi parang may other people involved. Tapos parang doon nila napapakita, bakit kuya? Ganun, yung mga ganon. Na, ayun. So, yun naman yung experience ko lang. Pero hindi siya naging mabigat naman for you.
Ako naman, parang, ako kasi dumaan siya sa ano eh. Hate na hate ko yung concept na MU. Mutual understanding.
Okay.
Sa ibang bansa ba may MU or sa Philippines lang? Is it a Philippines thing? Or meron sa US na mutual understanding? Wala naman, no? MU.
Parang wala. Parang sa Pilipinas lang uso.
Oo nga, no?
Para sa Pilipinas. It's
Sa
such a
Pilipinas
concept,
lang,
no?
no?
Sa Philippines lang, yeah. Ako kasi dati, tago natin yung girl na to. This girl, right? I was very, kasi ano siya, she's like, she yung tipong ano, kasi yung concept of romance ko at a very early age sa high school is, syempre, you don't learn from anywhere else except either the people you see around you or, like me, movie, cinephile ba? Cinephile ba yung tawag? Mahilig ako sa movies. I learned it from romance movies. Yung pag bad girl, parang tipo, oh, she's not bad on the inside. Ganun, parang in the end, she's gonna be like super nice. Ganun. Yung mga tipong stereotypes in movies. Eh. Yung girl na to, parang ano siya, very, yung tipong inaaway magulang parate. Tapos, tipong may hate na group. Wild, there we go, wild. Kasi,
Okay.
like, now that I look back on it, isip ko, red flag yung inaaway parati magulang. Like, araw-araw, pabasok na may luha dahil inaaway magulang. Tapos for some reason, my second year self would be like, uy, nice. Ganun, I don't understand why. So, nangyari is, syempre, we liked each other. Diba? Tapos, syempre, nagbigay pa akong gifts sa parang, oh my gosh, ito yung favorite book ko. I think you should read it. High school things, right? It's my favorite book. Oh my God, I'll read it. Oh my God. Ano mo yung pillow na to? Ikaw to. I'll hug it. Yung mga ganun. Oh, I'm cringing. Oh, God, diba? Si Carlos,
Tapos,
tumatawa na
Miggy,
nakakalit.
ganyan ka pa rin pala until now.
Ganun. Hindi. I've learned.
Sisitikahin ko si Zia.
Ganun. Ganun ako parati. I miss my girlfriend. Ganun hug. So anyways, back to the start. So essentially nangyari is, in the end, parang yung feelings ko didn't really match her. Parang nasin niya lang ako parang, very temporary. Tapos ako parang, I'm gonna put all this effort kasi I think I really like her. Diba? So nangyari, in the end, na backstab ako to the max na, hindi niya ako confront at all. Sinabi lang, through a friend, that's the worst thing to happen. Through a friend na, I think, hindi ka na gusto ni ganyan. Ako parang, tapos umalis lang yung girl na yun. Tapos ako parang, never have I felt my heart just gut it out. Parang ganun. Tapos feeling ko talaga parang, oh my God. So, in the end, nagpapa-ganyan-ganyan siya. Yung pala, it was just a means. Not a means to an end, pero a means lang. Yun yung malala eh. Usually, di ba, when people use you, you're a means to an end. Yung term ba? They're using you to get somewhere else. She was using me to get to literally nothing. Parang ganun. That was the worst part, di ba? Kasi minsan, I try to be empathetic. Parang, kasi, baka naman ganyan siya dahil, di ba, she's trying to do something. Tipong, lahat mo maisip. Tapos, I entered a slump na I think for a month, I didn't eat with anybody. I ate alone on a tapos na ako parang, bumabalik yung self-destructive self ko. Kaya naman, napapansin niyo yung themes ng high school ko, no? Yung if you gave me a lighter, I'll find gasoline and burn my school.
Puro revenge, ha? Puro revenge.
Yes! Kasi that's, I think, thanks to my environment, and doon nabuo yung idea of, yung parang the pleasure of revenge. No? Wow. Okay, anyways, Carlos!
Well, there's so much in mind right now. Literally, so many people in my mind. I'm gonna just strap mag-name drop, pero joke lang.
Name drop. Sige na. Let's not be toxic.
Bibleep ng post. Bibleep ng editor.
Wala after then. Okay, so I can't name drop kasi they're also like student council heads in like other schools. So basically, parang I knew they were kind of users in the start because like parang, as a person, I wanted to meet them. So I'm close with them and stuff, knowing na based on my feedbacks of other people, I really know, wait, user yan, wag mo na yan i-close, ganon. Ako, I'm like a person who likes be friends with everyone. So ayun, I befriended him and then I parang na-realize ko parang after a few years na parang he was just using me for my connection. Kasi nga, di ba, I'm super friendly. Kaya ako walang jowa kasi lahat ng friend ko lang. And then, so parang ayun, parang na-realize ko na rin na parang he used me for my connections and my pabiboness. Kaya ayun, parang that's like, I think I've been attracted to like that person kasi nga, parang they always have this adventure, like they're always spontaneous type person. I'm a person na parang gusto ko organize and stuff. When I'm stressed, I organize things. Kahit organize sila, inaayos ko ulit siya. Like I want everything in minute per minute. Tapos na. So parang it was like a new environment for me. So parang sabi ko, I wanna be friends with this person. And then yung pala, they were just using me for something. And then, what's worse is, when I was in grade 12, he was my boss in student council. He was the head of he was like the president itself. And then I was his vice. And then it was super toxic kasi, parang he would backstab me to like the teachers and the principal and stuff. So like, nung graduation, ako lang yung walang medal. sa aming lahat. And then, and then I found out na lang through my friends niya din. Carlos, he's telling this, ganon. And then, parang, sabi ko, those are not true naman eh. And then, ayun, parang sabi ko, bahala na, mag-separate naman tayo ng schools, bahala na sila dyan. Those are your toxic lives. Okay, bahala sila. So yeah, it's hard then.
Yikes. That's the worst scenario that I could imagine, no? Kala mo kaaway mo lang sa friendship, di ba? Okay lang yan, tapos na-find out mo. So work din, nandun din siya, parang...
Yeah, they're so unprofessional.
Sigaw na lang. Marinig ko sumisigaw sa banyo, tapos si Carlos pala yun. Carlos, kamusta? Nothing happened.
Yeah, that's why I gained 35 pounds kasi I was super down. And then every day I would order lang Grab. Kaya may Grab and kasi my phone, every day. And then 1 year, I gained 35 pounds.
God, 35 pounds. Grabe. That's parang stress eating, I would say. Parang ganun, stress eating.
Yeah, it's basically stress eating. Kasi nga, I didn't have that much friends. And then I thought he was a friend of mine talaga. Then ayun, parang he used me lang pala. And then sabi ko, okay, bahala ka dyan. I would eat. My best friend is food. Kaya until now, my best friend is food.
Ikaw ko feud. No? Tapos naging revenge story ulit. No? Nagkagaya sa akin. Susunogin mo ulit school. Ganun ulit. Okay. Last but not the least, Kenneth.
So for me, gaya nung kay Carlos, sa friends ko, syempre college. Kaya gusto new friends din. Syempre, attracted dun sa person kasi parang same kami ng energy nung una, ganun. Tapos, I didn't know na, parang lately ko lang nalaman na parang, hindi siya mutual relationship na give and take. Parang siya yung, andyan lang pag may kailangan. Pag ikaw yung nangangailangan talaga, siya lang yung kaya pwede mong lapitan. Siya pa yung daming reason, pero alam mo, madali lang naman yung gagawin. Basta hindi siya yung friend na, ano ba? Paano ba explain?
Kasi
Tagalog.
hindi
Kung
ka
gusto
friend.
dali Tagalog.
Ah,
He's not a friend.
That's why. Kaya puro take lang. User, yun. User.
User, I think, yeah. User. Is he a user, Kenneth? Oh no! Nakuha si Kenneth ng user! No! Naharap na siya! He's been leaking. He's been talking too much. Kenneth!
Ayan.
Kenneth!
May share lang ako. Ayan,
Ikaw lang.
habang wala si Kenneth. Na-try ko na pala. So, nakapag-isip-isip ako. Ayan na, dumating.
And Kenneth,
nawala
alright, you're
ba?
back. Nawala ka nang, hindi naman, naglag ka lang ng sandali. Okay, return.
Hello. Ayun. So, nito lang, parang nagkaroon ng misunderstanding yung friend kong yun, tapos yung friend niya matagal na high school. Tapos, alam niya na yung both sides namin. Alam niya namang, tawag dito, nasa tama naman ako. Tapos, ang nangyari pa, ako pa yung in-unfriend niya talaga.
Binlock ka niya.
Hindi naman sa ganun. Sinabi lang dun sa best friend ko yung nangyari. Tapos parang sabing, ayaw na daw kaibigan. Naisip ko,
Okay.
sabi ko, for all the things that I have done for Don, basta Don, is him or her.
Okay.
Yun. Ako pa yung dinarap niya. Hindi niya man lang nilinaw dun sa isa niya pang friend.
Oof, sakit lang. Parang pinasa-pasa si Kenneth. Don't worry, the better times are arriving, I suppose. Okay, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ayun, Miss Patricia. Okay, Miss Patricia, you were about to say something?
Yeah, since may time mag-isip. So, nakapag-isip ako. Meron pala, memorable, since I have this friend na kinate ko siya as my sister. Long lost sister, parang ganyan. Tapos eventually, napansin ko, parang parating may nawawala sa gamit ko. Like, yung bag ko, madalas kasi naglalagay ako sa side pocket ng money. Tapos, parang meron kaming quarters sa school, sa mga varsity. Tapos, nagtataka ako, ba't wala na yung 500 ko doon? Sino bang mamamakit doon sa mga varsity lang? Pero hindi ko naisip na siya. So, sinasamahan niya pa ako para hanapin yung money. Tapos, eventually, nawala yung cellphone ko. During a
God.
During a
God.
game. Yeah. So, during a basketball game, naglalaro kami. Before mag-start yung game, ginamit ko pa kasi nag-picture pa ako ng court Tapos, nilagay ko sa bag. So, naglaro, busy maglaro. Pagbalik ko sa bag, wala na phone ko. Tapos yung mom ko, parang nagkaroon na ng hint na feel ko siya to. Since, parang challenged sila as a family. So,
Okay.
parang mom ko masama nga rin yung mom ko kasi parang pinuntahan niya. Kahit walang CCTV, sinabi niya. Nakita namin sa CCTV, kinuha mo yung phone. Umawin ka na kung hindi, papapulis kita. Ganun sabi ni mama.
Oh, God! Oh, ba't parang teleserye buhay mo, Miss Patricia? Dalawang school, no? Lahat ng Filipino teleserye.
Sabi niya, Auntie, wala po. Hindi, nakita namin. Hintay mo ba bang masira yung kinabukasan mo? Sabi pa ni mama. Tapos ayun, inamin niya eventually. Tapos pinuntahan ni mama ko sa house nila. Tapos ayun. Pero, lo and behold, friends kami now.
Oh God, that's a surprisingly happy ending.
Yeah. Not really friends na super close since dito siya nag-study sa province, hindi sa Manila. Ako nag-Manila na ako. So, parang hindi na lumalim pa yung relationship namin. But, from that, nawala, pero bumalik. Kasi, as a person, hindi ako mahilig mag-kim-kim ng, parang bad feelings or hatred towards someone. Parang mabilis ko lang kinalimot. And parang, yun din yung parang feel ko bakit may mga taong na-attract sa may mga red flags na. Kasi they want to see the bigger picture na I think kaya kong baguhin tong tao na to na or baka may potential pang magbago. So, I'm gonna try. Parang ganon. No? Tapos like, yung thrill na hindi, kaya namin to, papaglaban namin. Mahal mo eh, diba? Love is blind.
Oo, ganun nga.
Hindi, ganon. So, yun, parang, I think, somehow, maganda rin nag-end up. Pero, ay wait, ito pa yung malala. Sorry, Marites. Ay, nako. Nakuha ko yung phone. Ito lang, funny story lang. Kasi nakuha ko yung phone. Pero love ko na yun. Kasi love ko. Like, nakuha ko lang yung phone. Funny lang siya pag naiisip ko. Nakuha ko yung phone, di ba? Tinignan ko yung voice record. Yung phone na nanakaw ko, tinignan ko yung voice record. Kasi lahat deleted eh. Tapos lahat ng apps, chinecheck ko baka may natira. Yung sa voice record, wow, you can't believe talaga.
Oh, no,
Puro
what
Christian songs, kinakanta niya.
Jesus would not be very happy. I would
Yeah,
say.
I think so.
Carlos would
Would
believe.
not be. Definitely. Yeah, pero yun, feel ko talaga nasa time lang siya na parang sobrang, siguro jealousy din. Kasi yun nga, taghirap eh, yung family niya. So, ayun. In-understand ko na lang yung situation. Sabi nga, be a better person na lang.
Yeah.
Be the better.
Parang naging ano tayo, naging yung ano, tipong Christian TV show na in the end, just be the better person. Just play some Catholic song, tas credits ganun. Anyways, let's move on to the next question. Very, very funny na grabe. Yung buhay ni Miss Patricia parang teleserye talaga. Mara Clara-esque. Oo. Tapos si Carlos naman yung very, very amen. Let's go Jesus. Si Kenneth naman. Tapos si Kenneth naman very much he's the lone rogue. Parang ganun. Okay, anyways, moving on to the next question. Never have I ever tried to gaslight someone just to get my way. Ooh. I think let's just open it to all context. 3, 2, 1, go. Whoa! Carlos, reading the Bible has saved you! Woohoo! Okay, Carlos, please, do share.
Well, because parang I didn't gaslight someone. So people try to gaslight me kasi nga I'm very gullible in a way na parang yun nga ay pinagbibigyan ko lahat. So kahit anong gawin nila, ginagawa ko. So yeah, that's basically I really can't say anything. Basta tagon, if ayaw nila gawin, hindi ako na lang gagawa. If I ask a favor, hindi find someone else. Because wala eh. If they don't want it, you can't convince them or you can't blackmail them or something.
Okay. I see. Tama nga naman na parang you just accepted it pero for some reason, there is something that protects you from absorbing the negativity. Wow. What a Carlos is a beam of light in the modern day. Okay, wait lang pa ba na si Kenneth? Kenneth.
Titignan ko si Kenneth.
Lazy ko, wow. Ba't parang siya yung umuusog instead ng bus? Okay, anyways, let's move on to Miss Patricia for now habang si Kenneth is walking. Kenneth, stay safe. Okay, Miss Patricia. What's your story?
Parang unintentional naman yung pagka-gaslight ko sa mga situations. Kasi parang, yun nga, parang, tawag dito, unaware na nag-gaslight ko na pala sila. Kasi sa bugso ng damdamin minsan, ganun. Kaya mga group work, ganyan, diba? Tapos, kaya submission na, tapos lahat kami nagka-cram. Tapos may isa-suggest tong iba. Tapos, hindi, ito na lang, ganyan, parang ganyan. So, parang, unintentional naman. Pero ngayon, syempre, dapat mas maging cautious tayo na hindi i-invalidate yung iba. Parang may nagsalita.
And I think it's
Ayan.
the people around Kenneth. They
Ayun,
want to
wala
join
rin
the
ako
podcast as
masyadong
well.
makwento about it. Kasi parang come and go lang siya minsan.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, gaslighting is the best way. I think the easiest way to get from point A to point B. I'm not talking like geographically. Okay, isipin nyo, mag-gaslight ka papuntang Cavite. Whoa. Para sa akin, ginawa ko siya academically. Wow. Parang magsasite ako ng sources. Parang ginagawa ko na, let's say, pag may project, diba? Let's say, yung kaibigan ko, di ako talaga magaling gumawa ng PowerPoint para sa presentation natin. Hindi, feeling mo lang yan. Kaya mo yan.
True.
Parang evil way. Like, you try to preface it about, dude, you can do this. Nakita ko yung drawing skits mo, ang angas ng stickman mo kanina. Woo! Ganun. Pero ginagawa ko siya in the terms of, parang di saan napunta yung trabaho. Parang ganun. Yung ginagawa ko. Pero nung high school kasi looking at my college friends, baka naman, di ko ginagawa yung ngayon. Okay. Ayun naman. So, ginagawa ko siya in terms of advantage na mas madali workload ko. I mean, aside from the fact na hindi ako marunong gumawa ng PowerPoint nung time na yun, ng maayos, yung masosyal na PowerPoint, yung may animations na, wow, naging ibon, tapos lumipad. Yeah, but academically, I think that's the most. Pero aside from that, I think recently, I've done it to my girlfriend once or twice because in the heat of the fight, parang ganun.
Bugso ng damdamin.
Bugso ng damdamin. Pag nakikita mo to, ganun. Basta yun, parang nasabi ko na yung time, the worst thing I've said in my memory is, that's just how you feel. Parang, oh God, ibig sabihin, invalidate yung feeling niya. Damn. Tas, nung na-realize, sinabi niya sa akin, you're just doing this to me. Na-realize ko yung parang, na-realize ko, oh God, I'm a monster. So yun, so far in recent memory, I have never repeated it. I mean, she hasn't pointed it out yet, so I think. Crossing fingers. Pray to God. Amen. Ayun naman. So, okay. Moving on, Mr. Carlos, how about you? Ay naman, tapos ba si Carlos? Si Kenneth. Pero feeling ko, di ko matatanong si Kenneth. Si Kenneth, okay, are you safe, Kenneth? Rinig ka, pero are you safe? Are you safe? Okay. Baka kasi biglang iba na yung kapodcast namin. In a few seconds. Okay. Go lang, Kenneth.
So, siguro, masasabi ko, nung high school siguro, syempre, bata pa naman. Dun sa past relationship ko, ganun. Tapos, ang pinaka-nakatawang gaslight na lang siguro is yung sa tropa, yung sasabihin mo, demonyo ka. yung parang sabihin mo, minsan lang naman, ito naman, di ka pa sasama.
Oo nga, no, gaslighting yun. Oo nga, no, ngayon ko na na-realize. Gaslighting pala yun.
Ang funny lang.
Kasi hindi mo pina-persuade yung friend mo, di ba? Like, kina-gaslight mo siya, once in a lifetime, you'll be missing out. Gaslighting pala yun. So technically, every Filipino has gaslighted to a degree.
Yeah.
Yeah,
pero
Carlos.
In a funny way.
Do you see this? Do you see that? Meron pa to.
Meron pa siya. He's got the... Wow, may maliit pa. Tapos meron si Carlos yung Bible na lahat drawings, kaya super kapal. Kada page drawing. Tapos may Bible passages about. Wow. Meron ka nun? Oh my God, I was right. Carlos is he has checked all the lists for being the most Catholic.
Yeah, because growing up then, parang in my mom's, one of my mom's jobs is she's the school dentist of Assumption. And like when there, I would like be sent with the mama madres, and then I would stay there in the convent. I would make rosaries, ganon.
Say naman.
I would make rosaries, and then ayun, I would cook for them, ganon. I'm pretty sure you're not cooking for. Are you cooking kasi they asked you, or are you cooking because I love you, mama madres, I will cook for you? Like what's this earlier? I'm really close with them eh. Parang one of the madres, the principal before there, si Sister Irene. Parang I still talk to her until now. And then kahit nasa Paris na siya, parang I still talk to her. Kasi parang before when I was a kid, I was super banal. So ayun, yeah, basically that's why I don't think I have gaslighted anyone. But I know that people gaslight me all the time, and I just fall into the trap kasi nga wala eh. You have to give way sometimes.
Sometimes the path of least resistance is just not resisting at all. Amen. Nag-amen ako parati sa dulo ng carousel. Nakikita ko na yung the foot, the lower part of the cross na it's happening. Bye-bye, Jesus. Okay, thank you so much, Carlos, for that one. Now, let's move on to the last, but not the least, question. Miss Patricia, balls to you.
Okay.
Balls to you.
Never have I ever invalidated a person's feelings. Ooh.
Count us down, Miss Patricia.
1, 2, 3, go.
Sir
Wow,
Kenneth.
Kenneth.
Sure ka ba,
no,
Kenneth,
no.
yun yung sagot mo? Sure ka ba yung sagot mo? Never? Sure? Okay, sure. Kenneth, pakikwento nga.
So, ayun nga, kaya never yung sagot ko kasi, di ba, yung nabanggit ko kanina na sabi ko nung high school ako nabully ako. And for me, ayaw ko ma-feel nung iba na hindi, na parang yung ibang tao is walang pake sa kanila, ganun. Ayoko ma-feel nila yung same way na naramdaman ko nung high school ako. And gusto ko lang na kahit wala na akong masabi, sige, ganun. Para ma-feel lang nila na nandito lang ako for you, ganun. Kaya I never invalidate someone's feeling. Kahit sabihin mo pang, kahit kaaway ko yan. Yun, ganun.
I see. Wow. Kaya pala ni Carlos na, untouched souls almost. Si Carlos yung purest. Kasi Kenneth on his way to ascension, to say the least. Wow.
On the way.
On the way there.
Tayo, Miggy, kawawa tayo.
Ako, nagpaplano pa ako paano pasabugin yung school. Ganun. Pero aside from the fact that, alam ko parang, share lang. Dati sinabi ata ng friend ko na, parang like pag 2014 yata i-demolish yung school kasi parang na-expire na yung land, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Parang titulo sa land. So, naalala ko tumawa ako sa nung sinabi ng friend ko. Evil, no? Gawin ako. Sasabog yung school. Pero share lang, yung school ko attached siya to the oldest school, one of the oldest churches in Manila. Pre-World War II pa. Essentially, buhay pa si Rizal, nandun yung simbahan na yun. Ganun, wow, cool. Wow. Carlos, you know where to go next then? Okay, anyways, for me naman, I have romantically pa. Kasi dati, meron akong friend na, dancer siya, ganun, she's all the things. Tapos, nakakasabay ko siya pauwi kasi pag pauwi ako, bababa siya way earlier than me. So, may ride kami na magkasabay. Tapos, di ko napapansin kasi syempre as a straight man, every straight male is very blind to a woman's advances or hints. It's instinct for some reason for men na kahit anong hint ibigay mo sa lalaki, isip ng lalaki, we're just friends until sabihin mo explicitly. So nangyari is, ilang beses niya akong in-ask out, like, gusto mo mag-movie tayo? Gusto mo mag-restaurant tayo? Gusto mo mag-mall tayo? Ganun. Yung mga tipong gano'n dapat sign in na, this person's interested, diba? To a degree. Pero ako parang, wala akong pera eh. Yung reply ko, wala akong pera eh. Like, or yung either reply ko, di ako pwede lumabas, sabi ni mama. Ganun. So nangyari is, parang after some time, she kind of fell off. Hindi na kami naging friends siya. Hindi na kami close. Like, pag nagkikita kami through like, sa hallway, yung issue rin parang galit parang sa akin. Parang ganun ako. Hi, musta? Ganun ako. So, sobrang ganun ako kamanhid. So, now that I realize it, parang gusto ko mag-apologize back to that person. Kasi, I'm still friends with her friends naman right now. Tapos, nag-meet pa rin kami sa college sometimes. Pero yung feel talaga na, man, na-imagine ko talaga, what if I was in her place? I mean, I've been multiple times. Pero, imagine mo yun, no? Ilang beses mo, no? Tapos, hindi mo alam how to process these feelings. Kasi if you're the suitor ba? Ano yung term? Suitor? Or, sige, nanliligaw na lang. Nanliligaw, parang sa dilim. Nanliligaw. Di ba parang dahil mong iniisip na, does this person like me? Like, should I do something different? Because you're doing everything to at least get a chance to be with that person. Ba? Oof, tough. Okay, Mr. Carlos. You seem very excited.
No, Ate Pat looks like she's already has something to say.
Pinasa kay Pat. Miss Pat! Miss Pat! Hubong!
Ang daya nito.
Wait lang, mag-add lang ako something.
Go lang.
Yan.
Go,
Sige.
Kenneth.
Kaya I don't invalidate someone else's feeling kasi iniisip ko paano ako yung nasa sitwasyon niya. I always look at it na paano kung ako yun. O tas, ganun yung ginawa sa akin. Anong mararamdaman ko? Kaya, ganun.
True. Yeah. Sometimes it's the best time to best way to empathize is try someone's shoes on. Dati talaga kala ko minentliterate yun eh. Like, suotin mo yung shoes na. Tapos sabihin ko, ba't ang pawis? Okay, anyways. Miss Patricia!
Okay. For me, I have multiple times unconsciously. So, romantically speaking, wow. Syempre,
Set the mood.
dami kong suitors, diba? Ngayon, okay, walang tumawa. Joke lang yun, wala. So,
Good choice ka, ate.
hindi.
Men lining
Meron.
out the door. Kahit pandemic, may pila.
Meron. Pero parang, pag nagbibigay sila ng sign, ini-invalidate ko na sa utak ko.
Oh.
Or like, sa ibang friends ko, sinasabi, hindi yan. Kasi parang, at some point, ayoko rin maging, ma-feeling, minsan. So parang, ang way ko para hindi maging ma-feeling, huwag na lang mag-expect. So, parating hindi yan. Pero in return, syempre, kinikwento ko sa friends ko na, hindi ako. So, etong niligaw sa akin, humihingi ng tip sa friends ko. Kasi sinasabi ng friends ko, halata naman daw, sabi ni Pat, di ba daw naman siya gusto, ganyan. Na-hurt siya na parang iniisip niya naman hit daw ako. Pero, sakit na. Pero, yun yung way ko before to parang automatically reject yung mga suitors. Kasi ayoko mag-expect. At the same time, hindi ko rin siya priority. So, romantically speaking, ganun ako. Pero in terms of friends, unconsciously, na-invalidate ko rin sila kasi parang I have too much on my plate also. Na parang hindi ko na rin na-realize na parang ayoko na lang rin ng negativity. So parang kunwari may pinagdadaanan ako tapos magsa-share siya. Parang masyado nang mabigat for me to handle. So minsan parang nasasabi ko na parang hindi, kayang-kaya mo yan. Hindi yan. Kayang-kaya mo talaga yan. Ikaw pa, parang tas especially nowadays, sa era talaga ngayon na parang masyadong halos lahat, parang may awareness na regarding mental issues. Parang mas naging factor yung pagiging, parati mong naririnig yan di ba? Na-invalidate kasi yung feelings ko, ganyan. Whereas before naman hindi ganon. So ngayon, mas nagiging cautious na ako. Unlike before, na unconscious ako sa mga ginagawa ko. Kasi nga, hindi pa ako informed about it, me being like that. So yun, minsan hindi rin talaga sinasadya. Kaya, friends, I'm so sorry kung nakikinig kayo ng podcast. But don't forget to subscribe, like, our YouTube page. Yes, team. Ayun, yan lang naman yung share ko.
Okay. This also goes out to all the suitors of Miss Patricia lining out the door, no? Alam ko manonood kayo nito. Just, at least alam niyo na from the inside view of Miss Patricia.
Sa 24 na lalaki na sumubok, I'm so sorry.
Wow.
Yung 24 na yun, sorry, but you did not get the victory royale.
Yeah.
You were the last one standing. Okay, anyways, Carlos.
So basically mine is just like Ate Pat's. Parang I don't really, kasi I'm always in the middle of relationships of my friends. Literally, nung pandemic itself, eight relationships, ako gitna palagi. So it's hard then to parang set aside their feelings because if you're gonna give advice, don't think about what they're gonna feel about things and then just like say what you wanna say. I'm that kind of person. Like if you have a problem with me, tell it in front of me. Parang I know and I could change. So yeah, parang so I listen to their feelings, but like I know na even if I listen, it's not gonna affect me because I already have this like structure and stuff. It's weird, but like that's kind of person who I am. Parang I want to tell if I have something in my mind na I would tell it to you na. So kahit masaktan ka o hindi, that's the reality of life. It's hard. Parang we all have problems to face, and this is just one of the small, minor things you have to face down.
That's true. Hopefully naman you water it down a bit no, before telling it to their face. Kasi minsan kasi ginagawa ko yun, pero I give the purest like form possible. Sinasabi ko lang, dude, you poop. Ganun, parang ganun. You're up. Ganun. Maganda yun. Kasi dapat, in the end, if you wanna talk to someone, you wanna give feedback, criticisms, dapat kind of construct it well, diba?
Yeah, kailangan maging assertive ka muna, I think, no? Before you say what you want to say.
True.
Okay. It's like my best friend. Ay, bahala na lahat na beto sabihin. Friend lang. You need to slowly tell them.
You gotta,
friends.
I think you really gotta stop punching me in the belly every time we meet. It kind of hurts a bit. Okay, now before we end the podcast, do you have any advice to give to people who gone through what you've gone through, right? To people who've experienced being invalidated and have invalidated, people who've been with red flags, people who are the toxic people and who have been toxified. Toxified na lang. So do you have any advice to them?
So I can advise, if you can lang naman, I suggest you cut ties with them. Kasi ganun yung ginagawa ko talaga. Even dun sa sa relatives ko. Na ang dami ko kasi relatives na sobrang toxic din. And it's not that yung respect na it is given, hindi. It should be earned pa rin even sa relatives. So yun lang masasabi ko. If you can cut ties with them, go for it. Para sa mental health mo din yan.
Actually, yeah, you're right. Because sometimes it weighs down on your brain a lot. Okay, up next, any takers?
Carlos.
Okay, so just like I wanted to say the same thing with Kuya Kenneth, but I just want to add to it. Like one trait and advice I would say is always to be kind and have courage. Like if you know that you're right, tell what's right. But you also need to be kind, even if they're mean to you and stuff. Always like still be kind and like be yourself, because the only person you would be treating and like being dishonest to is yourself if you don't be yourself. So yeah, just be yourself lang.
Wise words from one of the 3 wise kings that visited Jesus on his birthday. I'm not telling you you're old. Okay, last but not the least, Miss Patricia.
For me, first of all, love yourself. Kahit cliche man. Pero totoo yun. Parang, pag hindi mo kasi mahal yung sarili mo, parang, hindi mo kaya magmahal ng iba. Ng buong buo. Kasi at the first place, hindi mo mamahal yung sarili mo. So, yun, love yourself and be honest, be true to all your friends or special someone or your family. Kasi at the end of the day, mahuhuli ka rin kung nakikisama ka lang ba na ayaw mo naman talaga sa kanila. Kasi, ayan, all secrets, eventually, it will be revealed at a specific time. At a specific point of time. So, ayun. So, kapag ayaw mo yung isang tao, just like Kenneth said, i-cut mo na sila. Pero if sa tingin mo naman, kaya pang i-work out, try your best. At least you tried. Diba? Pero pag hindi talaga, cut na. Tapos, you have yourself naman eh. Yan. So, God bless everyone. God bless.
God bless. Especially from Carlos. God bless. Anyway, for me, my final message to people out there who feel the same, remember, as much as it feels good to, pick a fight, get revenge, you want to see your enemies fall. In the end, that's just momentary pleasure. Always choose to be the better person, no matter what happens. Because in the end, if you become the better person, then who knows? You'll be boundless and limitless in terms of your potential. Now, once again, thank you so much, guys, for being here today on the DSC podcast. So before we go and we end this podcast, any shout outs you would like to say?
Guys, so for all the studentistas out there, don't forget to follow our Shopee account, Urban Hub Dental. So all your dental needs, go to Urban Hub. We have an IG, urbanhub.dental also. Ayun lang. Please support us.
Wow. Okay. Hopefully, I can find some dental dams there. Are there dental dams there?
Wala.
Dental dams? Wala. Dang it! You gotta
I'm
find
so
the
sorry.
search. The search for
For-
dental dams.
For
Continue.
studentistas na, mga typodonts, ganon. Organizers, articulators, ayun.
Thank you so much for the plug. Okay, Mr. Carlos, do you have any shout-outs?
I can't think of one, but yeah,
Okay.
you can pass it to Kuya Ken.
Okay. Kenneth, any shout-outs from you? Anything?
Wala din eh. Wala ko din maisip.
Plug nyo Ace. Go support Ace.
Yeah,
Sa
support
Coral later.
Ace. Sa Coral. Last. Kaso, tapos na yung Coral pag na-post to.
Ay, oo nga, sorry.
Well, still, support Ace. Go Ace. Woohoo! Achievers Council for Excellence. Wow, the memory skin. Woohoo! Ace. Okay. All right, well, thank you so much, guys, for coming here to the podcast. But all sweet things must come to an end. So once again, follow us and like us on Facebook. We are UE Dentistry Student Council. Also on Facebook, you can find the other podcasts there from UE DSC podcast. So if you want to watch the old ones, go ahead and watch it. I highly recommend our recent one where we interviewed LGBTQ people and we asked their insights on Philippine education and sex ed. I love that episode. But also, you can find us on Twitter with the handle at UE_DSC. And once again, I've been Miguel Dos Reyes, your host, and this has been the DSC Podcast. Bye-bye.